The monkey's golden hoop is broken. Beiji, in order to avenge the monkey, also dead. The objective lens sees a dropped 9-tooth nail rake, also resolutely rushed to the gods and Buddhas. Tang Sanzang watched his apprentices die in front of his eyes one by one. Only then did I know that learning from the West was a scam. The 4 of them have gone through 998-11 difficult. Learn from the West, just to open up a road to heaven for the monks of the world, to the Western heaven. However, he was told that there was no such thing as a true scripture. The scriptures are false. Western heavenly bliss is a fake. Even the purification of sentient beings is fake. This drama deceived them for 17 years. After the monkey learns that he has been deceived, ran away on the spot, took out the golden hoop stick in his hand and smashed it towards Rulai. And Rulai just raised his hand slightly. The monkey was shocked thousands of miles by the palm technique that fell from the sky. Goku was furious. He stepped on the somersault cloud and came again. Faced the gods and Buddhas. Not afraid of the threat of such as the high. Monkey is not still want to be suppressed for 500 years. But the monkey pointed at Rulai with the stick in his hand and questioned you. Said to have gone through 998-11, it is difficult to obtain the true scriptures. I want to ask you where the scriptures are. Where is the bliss of the Western heavens? You keep saying that you are traveling west for the benefit of all sentient beings. But this way down, what I saw was the ugly face of your gods and Buddhas under the mercy. Tang Sanzang was afraid that the monkey in the air would be killed by Rulai. With what little strength he had left, he shouted at the monkey. Goku, don't say it. Come back soon. Beiji and Wujing heard Tang Sanzang's words. I was surprised, because they are not willing to give up. And Tang Sanzang looked at the broken 9-ring tin staff on the ground. How could his own masters and apprentices be the opponents of the gods and Buddhas in front of them? Even sacrifice can't change the outcome. It's better to admit it. Save the lives of the apprentices. And the monkey can't stand it. Then he carried the golden hoop stick and smashed it around. At the moment when the rod was about to reach the top of Rulai's head, a dazzling golden light suddenly burst from the sky, where the golden light shrouds. Even the gods were all turned to dust. After the golden light dissipates, the Rui golden hoop rod was broken in 2, fell from the sky, and Goku was also wiped out in this battle. Before Tang Sanzang could recover from his grief, Beiji, in order to avenge the monkey, the 9-tooth nail rake in his hand, rushed towards Rulai. Then I saw thunder and lightning in the sky. Beiji's figure gradually dissipated. The 9-tooth nail rake also fell from the air. Seeing this, the neighbors also rushed forward, even in the face of the gods and Buddhas. And not at all. Tang Sanzang looked at the 3 weapons left behind by the disciples on the ground after they died. His own apprentice died at the hands of the gods and Buddhas he admired the most. Rulai asked Tang Sanzang again if he really didn't want to become a Buddha. Oh, the Buddhas, the monks, are compassionate. But these people did not hesitate in the slightest. So he killed his disciple and became a Buddha. Become a monster like you. Bullshit. Buddha is compassionate. All beings of bullshit are equal. You have sent me on a journey west to learn the scriptures. I'm here with my apprentices. You let me act with you. I did. And now it's forcing us to die. Why are you on high ground? Self-proclaimed gods and Buddhas. One day, I, Tang Sanzang, will definitely turn these 3 realms upside down. If you come to see Tang Sanzang, you can't come to your senses. Said slowly. After 10 lifetimes of reincarnation, I won't take refuge in my Buddha. Liuli is famous in the 3 worlds and 4 continents. Cut off cause and effect. Since then, there has been no Tang Sanzang in the world. Let's talk about it. Rulai stretched out a big hand. Shouting Sanzang came head-on. Because he was beheaded to England. So there can be no more reincarnation. I thought that Tang Sanzang would dissipate because of this. But he didn't expect that he would be reborn in his own establishment. Battlefield of gods and demons. There was a stone that carried a baby, transporting millennium babies. As soon as he was born, he was accompanied by bursts of Buddha light. And when the baby grows up, it also awakens the memory of the past life. Unexpectedly, he turned out to be Tang Sanzang, who learned scriptures from the West. It turns out that learning from the West is all a scam. And they came to the Western heaven. But he was slaughtered by the gods and Buddhas. The 5 masters and apprentices were also wiped out in this battle. But he didn't expect him to be favored by heavenly Tao after dissipating. The thousands of great Tao condensed his dissipated body into a single body. and this relic retains a trace of his soul. He was lucky to survive. After birth, he was taken back to Lingshan Buddhist temple by the master, named Tang Yi. The song is indispensable Hongi, the meaning of a long way to go. But he wants to be strong in this life. Friendship is no longer cowardly. No more naivety. And for millennia, the world only knows the scriptures from the West that the storyteller invented. But he didn't know that the person who learned the scriptures had already died on the way west. And now he is just a small monk in Lingshan Buddhist temple. Ridiculously, he was the third in the temple. By mistake, he was given the name of Sanzang. And under him, there is also a little brother who talks about it. Every day is not to ask if Goku is a big horse monkey or a golden snub-nosed monkey. It is to ask the monkey why he is making trouble in the heavenly palace. I bet you don't have monkey memes in your phones. And the innocence of the little junior brother. But it made him even more convinced. The apprentices will definitely return. But he didn't know it. Danger was already creeping in his way. 3 yokai appeared behind him. All 3 of these monsters are here for the scriptures. But these 3 demons don't know. There is no such thing as a book, even if he struggled to explain. But the 3 demons thought he didn't want to give. Then he rushed towards him. Since you want the scriptures, then I'll send you directly to the West Heaven. I hate it. I saw him hold out his finger. Runes encircled the fingertips. Then a light blow. The 3 little demons were knocked out of the door, collapsed to the ground, but also because of his blow, and set fire to the temple where he had been locked. Before he could react, outside the door, there was a cry for help from his little junior brother. And the demons behind the little junior brother also came to the scriptures. Seeing that the little junior brother was almost murdered, he immediately urged runes to bring the people of Aina to comedy. And everyone saw that he had profound mana. He was even more convinced that the scriptures were in him. They all rushed at him as if they had been beaten with blood. He didn't see the situation right. Explain immediately. The demons are in the wrong place. Although their temple is called Lingshan Temple. But this spiritual mountain is not the other spiritual mountain. There are no so-called scriptures of the demons. He saw one of the big demons straight. Then he snorted coldly. Isn't it good to be alive? I have to look for death. And he is no longer the one who would have mercy on everyone in the previous life. Tang Sanzang immediately sent it to the West Heaven. Important after seeing his awesomeness. They all retreated to the door. Just when he thought things were settled, behind him, he heard the voice of his little junior brother. It turned out that his master was captured by a yokai. It's ridiculous. In the previous life, he was taken away. The apprentices came to the rescue. And in this life, it was his master who was taken away. He needs to be saved. While smiling wryly, he suddenly saw something that shocked him, because he saw the shadow of Goku in the other party. Back then, the monkey had been wiped out under Rulai's hands. And of the 5 people who traveled west, he was the only one who survived because of the relics. Now this demon is not Wukong. There must also be clues about his own apprentices. Then release the scriptures in your hand. The spirit wants to bind this demon. But he didn't expect that the released magic spirit was beaten to death by this demon. Seafair and broken. Not only was he not afraid. On the contrary, I was very happy. Because this uses Wukong's original monkey stick. I can't let go of any clues about the apprentice this time. Immediately, he once again condensed the magic spirit in his hand. When the demon saw this, he immediately fled. But as long as he can run past Tang Sanzang's determination to find an apprentice, he immediately resorted to the Dharma collection. Tap with your finger. The man immediately froze in place, unable to move. But he underestimated the demon's abilities. With the growth of demonic energy, the spirit shattered inch by inch again, just as he saw that the staff was useless. When you are ready to use the gold deposit, I saw that Xiaopi was still riding him for 100 kilometers and consumed fuel. 8 fat men with steamed buns rushed over, just when he felt speechless. I didn't think about taking advantage of him to distract myself. Suddenly escaped. Seeing this, she hurried after her. The little kid was also anxious when he saw this. Let the fat man block it. Cheng thought that this demon suddenly transformed into an eagle. Flee from the sidelines. The escape of the demon town successfully aroused Tang Sanzang's anger. If it weren't for this little pea, he broke up at a critical moment. He might just have a chance to catch it. Just find the clues of Goku. But he also hasn't had the slightest way to take Xiaopi. Because this little boy is the ruler of the land of the spiritual mountain. Although the Lord of the earth is the smallest god in the heavenly court, but it's also God, and the landlord is here. It was to inform him to participate in the water and land conference in Chang'an, and they were exempted from auditions. But he didn't have time to continue pestering the little kid right now. I don't want to participate in that bullshit land and water conference, because now he only cares about the safety of his master, and the whereabouts of the monkeys, and the spell that the demon used to transform into an eagle just now. It's Goku's exclusive hell. 72 changes. Come to think of it, he immediately chased in the direction of the demon's escape. And what he didn't know was, because of this, he fell into the trap that the other party had already laid. It was used as a gun by land calculation, because these people have only one purpose. That is the book that does not exist. And he caught up with this demon at the moment. After some grappling, I also succeeded in catching each other. What he didn't expect was this. After the other party was caught, he disappeared immediately. It's a fake body. He then continued his search in the other direction, and the ambush laid by the other party couldn't stop him, because he's long gone. Benevolent. Don't these people want the scriptures? He shot straight away. Song Zhong invited him to the West Heaven to ask the Buddha for it. He chased from the forest to the city. The other party's play made him angry, and he had already guessed the tricks of these monsters. These monsters are luring him into the game step by step for real gold. But he is for the clue of Goku. Also gritted his teeth and continued to chase after him. And he officially stepped into the trap of the other party. Sun Wukong died at the hands of Rulai. And after the death of the Monkey King, the dragons of Huagua Mountain are leaderless. The monkeys fought for the throne. Numerous casualties were immense. Who would have thought that this was the appearance of a female monkey in the group of monkeys? This monkey stick is all over the place. The strength is amazing. Along the way, 5 levels and 6 generals finally sat on the throne, called the Great Sage King and a female monkey. What the king gets is the prejudice of others. What woman is not worthy of doing great things? What kind of girls should go home to nurse, and so on and so forth. At that time, Tang Sanzang's 5 masters and apprentices learned scriptures from the West, in order to eliminate this prejudice in the canon. But when he arrived in the Western Heavens, he was told that the true scriptures were false. Goku is dissatisfied, but it came to an end. Even if there is no canon. But Wukong uses practical actions to eliminate this world. Prejudice against women. So he was reincarnated in this woman. At this time, Tang Sanzang knew that this person was the reincarnation of Wukong. For he had used a shackle spell on the woman. And only those who wear the shackles will be affected by the shackles. So it was confirmed that he was the reincarnation of Wukong. But also because of reincarnation. So there is no past life. I didn't know that the young man in front of me was the master of my previous life. And Goku is now also under the command of others. Tang Sanzang was exactly what he was thinking. I'm also excited. Although now this woman has taken his master captive, but in his mind, the dignified Monkey King, how can people be called at will? And all he has to do now is to rescue Goku. At this time, the woman inside the shackle just wanted to break the shackle and escape. The woman took the stick in her hand and threw it towards the bonding charm. But the spell remained unmoving. Then he released the monkey Dharmakaya. But it didn't take long for the monkey Dharma body to come out. It also gradually dissipated. Because his ability to reach the sky is useless under this tight spell. He then loudly questioned who he was. And he smiled softly. Call me master. I'll tell you. He wasn't done yet. At this moment, a flying sword suddenly attacked him in the air. And he just raised his hand slightly to catch the flying sword. The flies interrupted his recognition of Goku. Then he angrily pointed the sword in his hand towards the other party. Since the other party wants to die, that can only be done. Immediately followed by the opening of the law trap of anger. No one in the law trap could get close to him, and he can attack others at will. But that didn't solve his anger. Then condensed the Buddha gate behind him. Draw towards each other. And this blow only left a trace on his chest. What the pack? Pretend to be all the bells and whistles. I saw a chuckle on the corner of his mouth. Hold your horses. That's just to say hello to you in advance. After all that said, immediately behind him, a demon pestle appeared in the sky. And this law attack also made the other party smell death. He immediately controlled the heavenly demon Chu towards the other party tyranny. When this person saw this, he also hurriedly opened the copper skin and iron defense. but he didn't expect to be directly penetrated by the magic pestle. In the end, it can only be with unwillingness and disbelief. Ride the crane to the west. And after this person died, there was no spiritual support. Also revealed his original body. After dealing with the matter, he immediately turned around, prepared to continue to recognize Goku. But I didn't expect to be interrupted by others again. I saw the demons and Buddhas walking slowly towards him. He just sneered slightly, because this place has long been set by him to set a trap. And these people have already begun to walk into this formation. The monk at the head has just stepped into the formation. The formations on the ground were also exposed. I saw the monk clasping his hands together. What is in the mouth? Heaven has the virtue of a good life. Then the monk took a beating. The formation he laid out crumbled and dissipated inch by inch. He saw that the monk had some strength. Then he snorted coldly. The virtue of a good life. It's better to say than to sing. I saw that this monk was not arrogant or impatient. Then he spoke to the donor. But I misunderstood my little thunder. When he heard this, he was not angry but laughed puzzled. I don't know what day your monk is talking about. Which virtue is the virtue of good life? Where is the soul of the 800-mile lion camel ridge? You're a little thunderbolt for. Growing taller and taller floating towers. Before he could finish, the monk suddenly showed an ugly face and attacked him. He was not afraid to rush towards the monk, and after a fight, the two are also evenly matched. The monk saw that this was not good. Then he greeted everyone. Prepare to work with him. Just as the crowd rushed towards him, I saw him snap his fingers in the air. The Dharma realm takes him as the center of the circle. Disperse in all directions. And the sentient beings within the Dharma realm are like grass mustard. The monk panicked. The same goes for everyone else. The monk immediately walked towards the crowd. Just kill the caster. The Dharma realm is naturally lifted. Then everyone used their housekeeping skills. Coming at him, and he just smiled. Teleport behind the crowd. But when he was about to make a move, but he didn't expect the position he stepped into. It happened to be a trap laid by someone else. The crowd saw him trapped. They all rushed towards him. And the attack of the crowd also formed a huge explosion. I saw that a large pit had been blown out of his position. Just when everyone was relieved to be over, I saw a golden light coming out of the deep pit, shoot out a massive object, slowly rendered. And this golden light is the legendary White Dragon Protector. You don't know the real journey to the West at all. If Tang Sanzang's master and apprentice have obtained the true scriptures, then why don't you know what is written in the scriptures? They all say that the family is compassionate, hoodoo sentient beings. But on the way, he never stopped killing. Because it's all a scam. Back then, the little white dragon was just because he ate a white horse. It was turned into a deformed mount by the so-called gods and Buddhas. Kron's eating of horses and the eating of meat by humans are both the laws of survival of living beings. But he was forcibly put on the high hat of guilt by these gods and Buddhas. And now their master and apprentice have been slaughtered by the gods and Buddhas. Even if he has the ability to reach the sky, it can't compete with the huge number of these hypocritical gods and Buddhas. In the end, he died with hatred. But the little white dragon came at the cost of not entering reincarnation. Use the 3 souls as coal. Courage is a sacrifice. To become the strongest protector of Tang Sanzang in this life. And in this life, Tang Sanzang is no longer cowardly. No more naivety. He must expose the conspiracy of these gods and Buddhas. I didn't expect 1,000 years to pass. The faces of these monks are still so ugly. It's all compassion in front of others. Hoodoo sentient beings. But once you tear off the mask under his mercy, he'll try to kill you. Even if he can't beat you. He will also use Buddhism to induce the people around him to attack you. But they underestimated the current Tang Sanzang. I saw golden light in the deep pit. Shoot out a huge figure slowly appeared. This shadow is the nurse that the little white dragon turned into after his death. Although it is said to be voluntary, no traps are needed. But for the little white dragon to be reborn, he intended to slaughter the people. Everyone panicked when they saw the appearance of the little white dragon, because they have already smelled death. The monk who had taken the lead just now retreated behind everyone and prepared to flee. Put the monastic spirit of compassion and the hypocrisy of compassion. Play to the fullest. He's not going to give these people a chance. Then let the little white dragon ruthlessly harvest everyone. Where the white dragon passed, all beings are ants. And what he didn't expect was, Someone actually took advantage of the fact that the white dragon was out to fight and attack him, and he was unceremonious. Strike back the opponent. But also because of negligence. Let the other party get the book on his body, just when the woman thinks that the scriptures are in hand. Complacent. But there was silence after seeing the name on the book. Then he angrily threw away the book in his hand. At this time, the white dragon had also quietly arrived behind the woman. It is estimated that this woman will not know until she dies. There is no such thing as a scripture in this world. He put away the books on the ground. And the people on the earth want to get out of the body with the original spirit. Prepare to escape. When I was the one 1,000 years ago, I still want to be a ghost. I'm afraid you don't have a chance. Then he pinched the trick in his hand, chanting in the mouth. Those souls who want to be reborn with souls. Involuntary all appearances. In the end, they were all devoured by the little white dragon. If you don't want to be a part of the little white dragon, it is an unlucky bastard. Or leave the dog's head protector behind. Now he can rescue Goku in peace. Because now Goku has no memory. So he gave the woman in the tightening spell two choices. One is to be part of the white dragon. The second is to do things for yourself first. I'll talk about the apprenticeship later. And the other party also chose the latter under his obscenity. But all the people who were going to kill him just now were under the command of one man. Now he's going to see witnesses. Because the white dragon has been exposed. So he doesn't hide anymore either. Take the white dragon all the way. And everyone saw the powerful aura of the white dragon and avoided it one after another. As he gets closer and closer to the mysterious man behind the scenes. But what he didn't expect was